Cattle rearing, also known as livestock farming, entails mass breeding of cattle. That's cows, oxen, bulls, bullocks, and cows for the express purpose of turning a profit. It is, of course, a growing and lucrative industry because it uses meat and other byproducts from cattle. In addition to using their skin and fur, people also consume their beef and milk. In addition to other dairy products, cheese can be produced from cow's milk. Cattle beef fattening is a livestock production method that entails reducing animal activity and feeding beef cattle a protein-balanced, high-energy diet for 90 days in confinement. By doing this, the cattle are fattened more quickly to increase light waves and improve the degree of finish and obtain higher grades at the abattoir. Cattle can exhibit their genetic capacity for growth to the fullest extent through beef fattening. As they produce more meat, larger animals may also fetch a higher price on the market. In Nigeria, raising cattle is a lucrative industry since you may profit from every component of the animal. Despite the profitable nature of the cattle sector, it is not as prevalent outside of the north of Nigeria. This is because it is perceived as a dirty business or a business for illiterates. And you will agree with me that we never described a business as dirty in agriculture. Nigerian households all consume beef as their main source of protein, making it the most popular type of meat in the country. In Nigeria, dairy farms are a successful enterprise as a subset of cow farming. Dairy milk is one of the main sources of protein in Nigeria. The country offers a broader market for dairy products as it is the most populous nation in Africa with around 200 million inhabitants. According to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria imports around $1.5 billion worth of milk and dairy products each year. Only 523,599 tons, or 40% of Nigeria's yearly milk consumption, was produced domestically. That's left 785,398 tons, or 60%, for importation, with an associated $1.5 billion import expense. This offers a sizable market for prospective investors in Nigeria's domestic milk and dairy product production. However, there are other cattle byproducts that are economically significant, such as hide and skin for the production of leather, hair for making wool, dung for the creation of organic fertilizer, etc. The government promotes commercial farming among entrepreneurs. This is because a nation's capacity to produce its own food and export food to other countries around the world plays a role in determining its level of success. This drives up the level of competition in the sector to extremely high levels. You've come to the perfect place if you're wondering how to go about the business of raising cattle, about the feeding and nutrition of your livestock, about management, operational plans, labor, capitalization, target markets, and the profitability of cow farming. You're watching The World of Agriculture on Green 360. Michael Nath here. I'll be right back after this commercial break. You're watching Green 360 here on iBrandTV Lagos. And now it's time for us to have some very crucial discussion on cattle farming and the profitability in the business. And right here, of course, you know, I can't do it alone. I am joined by someone who has all the answers to all our questions as regards the topic at stake. And that's talking about an entrepreneur and the CEO, Matos Resources. He is Segun Ilesonmi. Segun, you're welcome to Green 360.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, let's start by you telling us the steps or stages that are involved in cattle farming investment or cattle business investment.
Okay, let me start by saying it's a very broad topic and a very broad system.
Okay.
But as much as I could, I will simplify it and
Let's go.
we'll try to, at least in a layman's view, for
sure.
people to grab it.
Yeah, because there are some people out there who know neither their left nor their right as far as this business is all about, what it's all about, yes.
Well, cattle farming, it's no doubt it's a very profitable business because the customers cut across everywhere. Anyone eating beef is a potential customer. And anywhere you find yourself, there will always be people that consume beefs every day. So it now depends on your marketing, your ways, and your packaging of advertising your business. Averagely, the people expected to eat from a cow, it's averagely will be over 1,000 people that will eat from a cattle because of its largeness. And if you want to commercialize it, you know, we're not talking about party, those that want to use it for party or they want to use it for celebration. If you want to use it for business, you want to commercialize it, sell and make gain, you must go for averagely big, a bigger stuff, a bigger cow, a bigger cattle. So doing that, it takes, you will need a lot of customers to consume it. I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
So if you will need a lot of people to consume it, you as a starter, how many people has known you that, oh, this is a meat, is a butcher, is a meat seller, he deals with meat. So the question now is, who are those that will consume it? And you know, because it's a perishable stuff, so you have to start level by level.
That's exactly
for us when we
what
started.
we want to know.
When we started, we do sell a cow for a month. That's not good for that's not good for anyone.
Wait a minute. You kill a cow.
Yes.
And it takes you up to 1 month.
Yeah.
To sell it.
To sell it.
Before you kill another one.
Before we kill another one.
How are you able? Okay. Let's not digress, you know.
Okay.
Continue from where you stopped.
All right. So from our experience, when I looked at it, it can't continue like this. And I have a serious emotions for this business. Okay. At a time, we have to break it down. Then I need to connect with some people over there who are killing cows.
When you say over there, I don't understand. Where exactly?
Yeah, you know, there are abattoirs around.
All right. Okay.
There are abattoirs around. We had a challenge then. Who are those that will consume this cow? We can't continue business like this, selling the cow for a month because we've not gathered customers. So all I just did was I talked with some people who are killing cows around, and I said, okay, please, this is who I am. I'm commercializing it, blah, blah, blah. And we start purchasing bit by bit from them while we are doing our marketing stores. At least when people come, the few people that comes, they meet something on ground. In our abattoir, we sell to them, and we are doing our underground marketing stuff. So when we have gathered enough customers and enough awareness, we now upgraded. We upgraded to, okay, getting a cow for a week. after a cow.
From 1 month down to 1 week.
Yes, that 1 month down. Because as we were doing the other one, I just discussed getting piecemeal to be selling. It's not that you won't make your profit, but it's very, very, very minute because the profit has been shared with the owner of the cow. So we started a cow for a week, and at the time I told my guys, my staff, that we can make it. Let's do a cow 3 days. Hey, they said, oh God, blah blah blah, and we tried to launch it. It worked before we are where we are today.
So where are you today?
Well,
by that I mean, if you kill a cow, what's the length of time it takes you to sell it up?
Well, to the glory of God, right now we do more than a cow per day.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, now, still talking about investment.
Okay.
Someone who wants to go into cattle investment, does one have to purchase the land first, go for the cattle first, or carry out a kind of research, to know what kind of cattle one needs to deal in and stuff like that? What is the first step to be taken, and what is the last?
Okay. One of the first steps to be taken is, number one, you must be willing.
The willingness.
Yeah, the willingness.
Interest.
The inner urge.
Okay.
Because I would not just like any other business, there will be challenges. There will be challenges. Rome was...
And by the way, let me chip in this.
Okay.
When you tell someone you're into cattle, because we understand it's messy, it's dirty. Someone who hears about it is like, it's meant for, I wouldn't know, those in the village, the illiterates and stuff. I know you're a graduate, and look at a modern man, and you're doing the business and smiling all the day to the bank. Please continue from there.
Well, like I said, you must be willing.
Could you walk us through the farming process, the cattle farming processes?
All right. I will use my own as an example.
Please go ahead.
First, if you want to do this business, you need to get a refrigeration system. And you must not bite more than you can chew. Like I said earlier on, a cattle is relatively big. A cattle is not like chicken.
No.
That one person can just consume everything. So you must have that at the back of your mind. Okay, from which level are you taking the business?
All right. Okay.
What are my target per day or per week customers I want to be attending to? Because that's very paramount. Otherwise, you just be doing business without.
You lose out.
Yes, you will lose. And the sensitivity of the environment we found ourselves, people love to get meat fresh here in Nigeria. So not like abroad, or they can refrigerate it. You just walk up to the mall and you get whatever you want to get, like ShopRite and the likes. But many people in our locality, they love to get it fresh. So meaning, if you've started refrigerating it, it will be stealing. And people they might be pricing you down.
But does it actually affect the quality?
Well, I think it's more of people's feelings and people's emotion. It doesn't. In fact, it's sweeter.
It is sweeter.
Yes, yeah, it's sweeter. The only regret the seller will have is that when you put, for example, you put a 10,000 naira beef, just an example, you put a 10,000 naira beef inside the refrigeration system. If you want to sell it the other day, it will have reduced to like 8,000, 8,500, because it will have shrunk, and people might tend to be pricing it down because they feel it's not fresh. But it's even more ideal for beef to stay some hours inside the refrigeration system or the cooling system before selling it, because not until then, it's still, what you are eating is still muzzle. But if it has gone through some hours in the refrigeration system, that's when it becomes beef. But people here don't know. That's why you have to categorize your sellers. You have to know the people you are selling to, and meet up with what they are demanding for. So in this question now, the reason why I went through all this analysis is for us to, which level are you taking it? You can't just boom say you want
Double
to go
into it.
cattle farming, except you have people that want to do party that will just come and buy it once, and you must also consider the feeding, because cattle feeds a lot. Yes, cattle feeds a lot, so you must consider all those things. So it is better for you to start with 1, 2. You might start by rearing it around your place. Let people know that, okay, this person has something to do with meat, has something to do with cattle. So from there, you begin to get feelers from people. Oh, can you help us get this? Can you help us get this? But just like go and buy a truck of trailer, or have a truck of trailer and put it somewhere, you will run into serious debt, serious trouble, because you will need to be feeding them. And by the time you want to do a kind of or reselling or panic selling, the local butchers will price you down. They will, because they know that you're under pressure already. Because what the cattle will be consuming a day is not. So you must start from the scratch. You must start from learning it first. I've trained a lot of people to the glory of God. I went to a lot of workshops, but many youths will not. They don't take interest in it.
But you didn't study agriculture in school?
I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't. I studied economics.
Wow. Yeah. Now, what is the least budget one can invest in a cattle business?
If someone wants to invest, if someone wants to do the business,
Yes.
what's the list?
Yes.
You can do as much as 30,000.
Wait a minute. But 30,000 can't buy one live cattle.
It won't buy one live cattle, but it will save you the stress of selling selling one live cattle.
How does one start with 30,000? Could you explain?
All right. Okay. What I mean by 30,000 is that you can get a piecemeal. Like I said, we started.
Okay.
You can get a piecemeal of a cow. It might be quarter. It might be. Let people create the awareness first. That's why coming for training, knowing the integrity of this is very important. There must be something that we're telling people that, oh, this guy is into meat. This guy is into meat processing or cow processing. You cannot just go and buy a cow one day and you start killing. You will do a lot of work. And because they are perishable, once you've slaughtered them, once you've processed them, you will begin to look for customers. And so instead of putting yourself in some kind of panicking situation or whatever, start from the least, then start growing. So before you see it, if you do your marketing strategy within the area you are, they are food sellers. They are food sellers. Yes, though they are not our friends too much like that, because they will price you to the last. But they help us to consume much of what we have on the table.
By the way, we are talking about cattle rearing business and its profitability. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us. You're welcome back to Green 360, the world of agriculture. You're on iBrandTV, and today we are discussing cattle rearing and its profitability. And I still have with me here Segun Ilesomi. Now let's pick up from where we dropped off.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the processes involved in cattle farming.
Okay.
What does it entail?
All right. It's interesting, but to be very brief, one of the breed of the cow I will advise anyone to buy, to purchase, if you are looking at domestic farming.
There are different breeds.
Different breeds.
Okay.
If we have to talk about it, we won't finish it. But one of the breeds I will recommend for a starter, they're called the Bokolos.
Bokolos.
Yes. Let me put it that way. In the local term, they call them Bokolo. But I just have, I added the S to suit in the name.
The plural.
But the primary name is Bokolo.
Okay.
You will see that many of them doesn't have huge horns. They don't have horns.
But they are large.
Yes.
They are huge.
They're always very huge.
Wow,
I have
yeah.
them on my system. But,
Okay.
many of them are so domestic that you can rear them anywhere. And they tend to give you much more meat than any other size, than any other breed.
Okay.
So you can have them at the back of your house. But some are rearing it for pleasure. Yes, but if you are business oriented, you must time yourself. Okay, do I just want to rear it for so months before selling it off? Are you getting it? Or I want to rear it, let it just, okay, it's eating, there's free grasses everywhere. Let it just be eating anyway. You must leave it. By the time you buy a 60,000 naira home, before you will say you want to sell it in a year time, you might be taking in like 200 plus into your pocket.
Okay, now you said you can rear it, but you can keep it at the back of your house. If you have like 4 of them, for instance?
4 of them, for instance, definitely. It depends on where you are living. It depends on if you are living within sites, developing.
And it must be a landlord.
Yeah, you must be.
Yes, because you can be a tenant and go into this kind of farming.
You must be a landlord. And even if you are not a landlord, if there are grasses around, they can be feeding on that. But just make sure you have a good rapport with your neighbors in the environment so that they won't be harassing you every time.
Now, at what stage are you advising one to get the cow? Is it a fully grown one or when they are still calves?
You can get them when they are still calves.
Like how old?
Some you can get them from where they are like 6 months. Just make sure that they've started picking grasses. And they are no more sucking.
Okay. And from what stage? From how old do they stop breastfeeding?
You can from 6 months.
Okay.
From 6 months.
How many males and how many females does one have to start with?
You can start with a male and a female. Just start with a male and a female because you'll be learning from them as the time is unfolding. You'll be learning their systems. You'll be learning a lot of things. For example, if you get a cow from the north, you bring it down here, a fully grown one. When they arrive, before the next 4 or 5 days, they will start shrinking. They will start shrinking because they will be adjusting to the new environment.
Readjusting.
Like human being, if you change of environment.
Okay.
So if
the adaptation is an issue there.
The adaptation. So when we started, we didn't start with meat processing. We just get them, we start rearing them. So people that wants to do parties will come and they buy it from us.
All right.
Many every weekend. Because they've known that we have there's a place, we have a place at Yanapaja Boro. They know that, these people are selling cows. So instead of going to Karas that they won't hear the language they are saying, they will prefer to come to us. We will just go to the north, we throw them, we have an open field where the cows are just feeding. So during the weekend they come, people that want to do wedding, party, blah, 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 X, Y, Z. So they just come. So then we just said, okay, we can do this kind of processing stuff. That's how we started.
And that's how you start. Okay. Shegun, before I let you go, I would want you to give your parting word, your parting shot to those of them out there who would want to go into this business, but their minds are not yet made up. what do you tell them?
Well, I must let everyone know the way the country is right now. It's very, very important for everyone to think out of the box and to find an easy path for them. There are a lot of gains you will, even when you think you are losing when you're starting your business, you're actually gaining, because many a times we learn from experience. If you don't start today, when will you start? So I think
Today is the right day to start. So said Segun Ilesomi, who is our guest today on Green 360. And the pleasure of presentation has been mine. Keep farming and stay healthy and wealthy. Until next time, goodbye.